A few seconds. ערב טוב לכולם, עוד ערב של השראה מעשית, ערב טוב, ברוכים הבאים לראיון נוסף, השראה מעשית, עם אורלי בר-קימה. והערב יש איתי אורחת מיוחדת מארצות הברית, מבל קץ. מבל היא מאסטר בהופונופונו, והדבר הראשון שאני הולכת לשאול אותה, זה למה השם הזה, מה זה אומר ולמה צריך לשבור לנו ככה את השיניים. ואני אגיד עליה כמה מילים. הרעיון יתקיים באנגלית, ובהקלטה אנחנו נוסיף כתוביות בעברית, אבל רוב הרעיון יתקיים באנגלית. I will just say a few more words in Hebrew, so don't be despair all our other out of Israeli viewers, because the interview will be taking place in English. I'm just giving a few words in Hebrew for the Israeli viewer. So good evening, everybody. We are happy to be here on Practical Inspiration Show. This evening, I have the pleasure to host here Mabel Katz. Mabel is an internationally acclaimed author and a seminar leader and a master in Oponopono. And I said that in Hebrew, I said that the first question that I'm going to ask you is about the name, Oponopono. And why do we have to break our teeth every time we say Oponopono? So bear with me in a few seconds. And Oponopono is an ancient Hawaiian healing method, which we will talk about in this interview, and a little bit about Mabel's story and how did she came to this life purpose that she's doing all over the world. And a few words about me. My name is Orly Bar-Kima. I'm a journalist. I am also an author and a public speaker, and my purpose in facilitating this show is to bring kinds of voices, of messages, of teachers and messengers and healers from all over the world here to Israel, and to elevate our level of consciousness all over the world, because we all want peace, don't we, Mabel? We all want peace.
Definitely.
Peace inside. Yes, peace inside.
And for that, we need to wake up, Orly.
Yes,
to be at peace. Yes.
So this is one.
So it's wonderful what you are doing. Wonderful what you are doing. That's the first step. Yes. Wake up, be conscious.
So good evening, Mabel, and thank you very much for being with us here on Practical Inspiration. How are you? How is Los Angeles?
Fine. Very, very happy. I'm very happy I'm home because I've been on tour. So I have a couple of days before I leave to Israel. I'm really looking forward to be in Israel again and to share, everything that I have to share with you.
Yes, and we are glad to have you here, and I really want to know, what is Ho'oponopono? What is this name, and why is it so hard?
Okay, so first, it's important, yes? The only thing that Ho'oponopono has difficult, it's the name, because it could be as easy as saying, I thank you or I love you. But it's important because Ho'oponopono is not that difficult as it seems to say. But our intellect, the opinions, the judgments, the beliefs, anything that is different, is going to say it's difficult. Everything that it will mean to change, it will be difficult for the intellect. And also anything that is simple is going to be difficult for to understand. Yes. So important, but the word Ho'oponopono, it's a Hawaiian word. In Hawaiian, all the names have meaning. Yeah, in Hebrew too, yes, Orly?
Yes. The Israeli language is also very symbolic,
Exactly.
The holy language.
Who was my teacher for over 10 years, Dr. Hulen, he would ask me for names in Spanish. And what does it mean? And I said, nothing, that's a name. And he couldn't understand how come a name didn't have a meaning, But anyway, so the word Ho'oponopono means how to correct an error. So what happened is we are here to correct errors. Everything that we call difficult, any opportunities that we have, it will come a challenge, difficult people in our life, things that happen to us, we are victims. But those are opportunities to correct, to make it right. The word Ho'oponopono is to make it right. So everything in our life is just the monitor showing our own programs, the ones that we chose to come to make amends.
Yes, so you say that everything that we see outside is like a mirror that reflects something inside of us, like a flashlight that is telling us, look here, you have to repair something, you have to fix something. It reminds me a little bit in the Kabbalah, the Jewish Kabbalah.
Yes,
It also, they say
same
about
thing.
Tikkun Olam, that we came here to this physical dimension to fix something that we didn't do right in before.
Exactly. We are here. So the people that we call difficult people in our life are actually showing up in our life to give us an opportunity. It's a gift. But because of our intellect, always engaging, always talking, always having opinions and judgments, we react. We think it's out there. We think that they have to change. Yes? And we don't look inside. If we would really look inside, we can set ourselves free. But because we are always trying to change other people, there is no way. We keep repeating memories. We keep replaying.
So we'll continue to talk about, and of course, the show is called Practical Inspiration. So we want the inspiration, and then we want the practicality, how to use it in our life. This is the purpose of the show, because we live here and we want to better our lives here, and we need some tools that will help us. But I want to learn a little bit about you. I know that you are Jewish. I know that you love Israel very much. I know that you were an accountant. And something happened to you, something crazy, that you became spiritual.
Yes. I was not spiritual at all. I didn't believe in anything of what I talk right now. But my life changed. I was an accountant. I was licensed in business administration. I have 2 university degrees in Argentina, where I was born. In 1983, I moved to Los Angeles, and here I became a tax specialist. So I practiced my accounting. I had my career. I was very successful. And one thing that I can definitely tell you is I was not looking to change careers. I thought that part of my life was working. and I really enjoyed being an accountant, because I could make other people's life easier, on the numbers and that part that people are always, stressed out.
Yes.
So, my life changed, and God had different plans for me. Completely different plans.
Yeah, I said that we are making plans, and God is laughing for them.
Exactly. So, my oldest son woke me up, because one day he talked to me like I used to talk to him, mad, angry. And I saw myself. That was definitely a mirror. That was very clear to me. Thank God I took the decision to wake up. I could have punished him for talking to me like that, but I woke up. I actually, again, saw myself, and I realized he had learned that from me, and I knew how that felt, and I said, this is not what I want to teach him, or I keep teaching him, and I told myself, Mabel, you have to do something. And I started my search. So, Orly, after all these years, I can tell you for sure, life is about decisions. Life is showing us our decisions, our choices. Yes. So you change, you make a choice and your life change. Because I decided I was looking for happiness in the wrong places, material things, university degrees, and all the family, a husband, the kids, looks like I had the perfect life.
Yeah.
What else could somebody want? But there is nothing outside that can make us happy. There is not enough money. There is no perfect husband. There is no, there are not enough university titles to make us happy. When you look for it outside, you will never find it. So everything starts inside, yes? And because I took that decision, I can tell you for sure, there is a God, I call it, there is a universe that is supporting you all the time. So it's going to bring you based on your thoughts, based on your decisions, your choices. And when I made that decision, all these seminars started showing up. Those were not part of my life before. I didn't even know all those spiritual seminars existed.
Yeah, you said that when the student is ready, the teachers come.
Yes,
So
yes.
so you
That's why it's much easier of what we think. We think, oh no, it's difficult. No, what we are doing is difficult. What we learn is difficult. What our ego is telling us is difficult. But actually being ourselves and following really more our heart than our minds is much easier. And it works.
So tell me, I understand that you went and you searched and you learned all kinds of spiritual methods and from all kinds of teachers. What made you choose Ho'oponopono? Why was this,
Okay.
your the best thing that you say? You call it the easy way, the easiest way in
I
your
call it the
book.
easiest way.
And I
Yes.
like the title, but
Yes.
later I want you to explain how come it's the easiest way, because I like easy
Sure.
life. I don't like to work
Yes.
hard.
Yes. Yes. So, like you said, you mentioned Kabbalah before, no?
Yeah.
We all talk about the same thing. What is a great news? Why? Because the truth is only one, but different path to get to truth. So that should give us some peace of mind, yeah? So now you have to decide what path works for you. Very important to choose one. Yes, very important. And I will explain you why. What it brought me to Ho'oponopono, again, was a decision. Yeah, like you said, I took a lot of trainings, but I noticed still people blaming, always putting it outside. Always somebody else had the fault because they were not happy or because they are not at peace. And I had a little voice here that kept observing the drama. And I said, there has to be an easier and faster way. There has to be an easier and faster way. I didn't buy into the thing that you have to go to the past to find out what they did to you, who you could blame, you
Yeah.
know?
Because we
So,
all have we all have circumstances. I'm a
exactly.
journalist, and in my book, when I interviewed the 50 women that made big changes in their lives, I think that every person that you scratch a little bit the surface and you go in, there is a story there
Yeah,
of
we all have stories. Yes.
there
And
is,
if we don't have stories, we make them up.
so what was your story? What did you convince
Okay.
yourself?
Well, what again? I told myself there has to be an easier way. I do not believe in buying. I didn't buy into the drama and the thing because my mother did this to me, because my neighbor, because this and that. I said no. There has to be an easier way. And again, he said life is decisions. Ho'oponopono showed up in my life, Orly. People like the story. Oh, I had to travel all over the world to find it. I sweated like crazy. No, it came to me.
How?
And
How did you make a Ponopono?
well, at that time, I was doing something that it was called rebirthing. A friend of mine had talked to me about rebirthing, I was doing rebirthing, and Sandra Ray, one of the founders of rebirthing, had met Morna Simeona, that was my teacher's teacher. And so she spoke about, in the rebirthing training, she told us about Ho'oponopono, but to be honest with you, it didn't ring, it didn't make any noise in me, or call my attention. But then in one of the rebirthing trainings, I met the person that used to represent and organize for Dr. Hulen.
Dr. Hulen, he was your teacher.
He was my teacher. So I felt inspired to go to this training that he was organizing for him in Omaha, Nebraska, in the middle of nowhere. Yes.
In the desert.
The desert. So I went to Omaha, Nebraska. I met Dr. Hulen. I took my first Ho'oponopono training in July of 1997. And that's when I invited him to come to Los Angeles. I was still an accountant. Again, I was not planning to leave my career, but I had become like an event coordinator. I used to put events for the teachers that would help me, that I would see results. I would organize seminars, yes? So I like what I saw in this Ho'oponopono training, not that I recognize it as my path, but I recognized there was something important there. So I invited him to come to Los Angeles. I organized for him for the first time in January of 1998. And from then on, it's a long story. I took him to Argentina. I organized a lot of trainings here in California. And I started traveling with him. I would go wherever he went. He started putting me in the front, and then it was official that we taught together. And one day we came back from one training and he said, took me out of the flyers because I'm not doing this anymore. Like, don't put my photograph anymore. I'm not doing this anymore. And that's the first time, Orly, that I had this thought. And I said, maybe I can do this. Maybe, So I asked him to meditate, and I got the okay to teach, but it still was my hobby. It wasn't a career. It wasn't like my path at all. It was my secret identity. The weekend identity.
You were
a CPA.
You were what I call spiritual in the closet.
Exactly. So I have to tell you that I chose it as a path, as my path. One day that I was retaking the training, this spiritual path is about retraining, reprogramming, it's relearning, yes? So it's not about coming to one seminar and now you know it. I mean, so I went to many trainings, sat there to listen what it seems the same information, never is. And one day I was sitting there and I realized, oh my goodness, this is what I was looking for. Because I realized that taking 100% responsibility, I could set myself free. I was always blaming. I was always giving the power outside of myself to somebody. I depended on somebody to change. I depended on somebody to say. Yes? So you give your power away and you're always dependent. That's why we are so unhappy. And we never will find peace like that. So I realized, I said, oh my goodness, if I'm 100% responsible, I can change it. I don't depend on anybody or anything outside myself.
When you say, this is a basic principle of Oponopono, of many spiritual teachings, and I would like you to elaborate a little bit about this 100% responsibility. What do you mean by that? How can we take 100% responsibility on things? Sometimes when I talk and I give talks also, they ask me, how can I take responsibility for, how does a baby, 1 year old with cancer can take responsibility for the disease that he got?
Okay.
Can you explain that?
One of the things that we have problem with taking 100% responsibility, we think that we are guilty. And us, without word, guilt. Yeah? No, 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 no. We are not guilty. Okay. What am I responsible for? What is going on in me? What memories, what programs are going on in me that a baby 1 year old shows up with this problem? Okay, that's very difficult, different than saying I'm guilty because this baby showed up and has a problem. No, what is it in me and what I can correct in me to correct outside. Okay, so we hold common memories. Yeah, we have common memories. There are no accidents. Nothing is, an accident or what happened or what shows up in my life. It's something playing in me. So if I change, if I correct in me, I am correcting in the baby. But one of the things that are very, very important is that only God knows what is right for that baby. I don't. So I have to realize, like we said in the beginning, I need to wake up. I need to realize, who am I? The most important question in creation. We are not this. We engage with what happened. It has nothing to do with what is happening right now. This is not who we are. We are more powerful than our thoughts, our experiences of everything. So that's why it's so important in these times that we are living, of evolution, of big changes, to realize that we are just here to make amends, to correct, and it's not about engaging, trying to understand, or having expectations. This is the most important part. When I'm gonna clean, I'm gonna erase what is in me that this baby shows up. I do it with no expectations because I don't know what that soul that is in that 1 year old baby decided. Yes, that came to live. And I have to know that it's giving me a gift. It's an opportunity. It's a gift. It's a blessing. There is a blessing in disguise. If I take responsibility, if I look inside instead of blaming or trying to understand, the intellect will never understand.
So I want to see if I understand what you're saying. You're saying that if there is in my space, not even in me, a baby is ill or a friend is sick or something, that means that if it's in my space, there is something in me that I can, forgive or do some work inside me to correct, to erase, to clean. That's how you call it. And
Yes.
this will affect not only my life, but the life of others.
Yeah, it's so profound that it will affect even your ancestors. Our ancestors sent us here and say, you go, you can do it. Yeah. And I always said they are crossing their fingers. I said, I hope they get it. Yes, because they benefit. The future generations, benefit because I took responsibility, because I erased it on me. Yeah. So if whatever gets erased from me, gets erased from my family, relatives, and ancestors. It is profound work, impossible to understand for the intellect. The intellect
there is an inside rejection that for the intellect to say, wait a minute, why am I responsible for everything, every shit that is going in the world?
Yes.
Now with all the ISIS and the terrorism in the world, there is a lot of evil and a lot of darkness in the world.
Yes.
So if I take responsibility for all the evil in the world and I say, okay, let's see inside, how can I correct it? What do I have to erase? What memory inside me I have to erase in order for the world to be better?
Yeah, but I tell you what the trick is. It's not that you have to do it. You have to let go to let God do it. Only God can correct. Okay? It's not us correcting. We have to give permission to God.
To allow it.
Yeah, when the intellect gets on the way, I say, oh no, let me do it. Yeah? When we think, we are very arrogant, thinking we know more than God. The intellects create wars. They cannot create peace. Don't have any idea. Einstein said, You cannot use the same part that created the problem to find the solution. But we just keep listening to a part of us that doesn't know anything. We don't want to become humble and realize that we can't. We cannot do it alone. But if we allow God to do it, God can take care of every single problem of us and can correct and can put things. So one of the things that I always said, especially because of the times that we are living, is that I always said, thank God I found Ho'oponopono, because I know that as long as I'm doing this, I am taken care of. I am protected. I'm guided. And that's what we need to do. We need to allow God to guide us. We cannot keep doing it ourselves. When are we going to realize we can look at the world? This is what we created because we
Yes.
thought we knew.
When
So
you when you say intellect, you mean what we call ego?
Yeah, I would say it's a kind of the same thing. It's our mind. It's that mind that again that we educated so much. Yes, we educated so much our mind that now we are in trouble because we think we know.
But
So we keep replaying.
But you know, isn't it also the solution to the problem?
No, the solution doesn't come there. The solution comes when you let go. God can inspire you, and that's a different part of the brain. Inspiration comes from a different part of the brain. Okay. It will come in a thought, it will come in a dream, it will come when you are taking a shower, when you are connecting with nature, when you are going on a walk. You know, it's not going to come from thinking. And we keep thinking, or we keep blaming, or we keep worrying. And that stops, you're not in the flow. And then God cannot do anything because He gave you free choice. But you're always choosing, you're always making decisions. What are you going to choose?
So you are saying, you know, let God do the healing, but
Yes.
I have to do the work to clean myself in order for me to create a space that will allow the inspiration from God to come and do the healing for me.
But our part, Orly, our part is so simple that people don't believe it. You know, one day God told Dr. Ihalia Kalahulen, my teacher, it says, just tell them to say thank you. I know what they mean. Okay? So what I want you to realize is that because of the evolution, because of the changes, everything changes. Things don't stay, yes? So even the Ho'oponopono, it wasn't this easy when I took it in 1997. It became easier, evolved. Things evolved. So you realize that we keep doing the same thing of what? 5,000, I don't know what, years ago? And we still, how do we know that that was right in the first place? How do we know, how come we don't evolve? How come we don't realize we keep doing the same thing? You know how in families they do things and they don't know how they do it? It's because the family did it. Because we always did it like this in the family. And nobody asked, okay, who get this? Who decided this? Who interpreted this? Who thought it was this word? And we keep doing the same thing. The world is evolving. Things are changing. And what we did before is not going to work. So we became, I don't know, I have to tell you this. When I presented once in the north, in Israel, two religious ladies came to me in the break and says, Mabel, you know, we are religious, but today you gave us a big lesson about faith. And I realized that not because you are religious, you are a believer. You do it for different reasons, fear. You do it because you want to be accepted. Or you don't want to be different, but you are not happy. Yeah, I presented in Kazakhstan, and I was asked, "Is this against the Islam?" And I said, "This is not against any religion, but you have to do what makes you happy. Are you happy? Keep going to temple, keep going to mass, keep going to church. You understand what I mean? You have to become a happy person."
Why is happiness so important? All the
Because,
spiritual traditions, they talk about joy, that we need
yeah,
to take care of ourselves and to find our joy. And when we
be,
are in joy, we flow. Why is joy so important?
because when you are joy, you are being yourself, your real self, and you are connected directly with the universe, with the God, with God. And so it's another way of letting go. When you are happy, you are at zero. Yeah, so your thoughts are not controlling you. You are present. Yeah, you're not in the past. You are not worried for the future. Yeah, so you are one with God, with the universe. When you are at peace, that happens. So you are in the flow. Like I told you, you don't have to worry about anything. You know how we sometimes think that happy people are lucky? I said, oh, he's so lucky. You know, things come to it. Well, because you are giving permission. So again, if you are thinking, you're not going to be happy. If you are worried, you're not happy. Yes. So you are in the past, you are in the future. So you have to be present. This is all you have. And you can change your life in this moment because you say thank you, or because you didn't see you don't see yourself as a victim, or you stop blaming. You change the course of your life moment by your decision.
So how come it's the easiest way? Give us
Okay.
one or two or three tools that you say that they are the easiest way that we can use to delete memories, to clean, or I,
Yeah,
I want you to talk about the cleaning
sure,
because you say
sure.
all the time to erase memories, to clean, and why isn't it so important to clean? You know,
Okay. So you can actually get your own tools by just asking. You know, when you have a problem, the right question is, how do I erase? How do I clean? Yeah, it's a way of letting go and letting God. But we have some tools that we have many tools, but the most famous ones are thank you and I love you. Yes. Um, and a lot of people learn four phrases. Yeah, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, and I love you. But I'm here to tell you that just you can just repeat thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, and it will work. Okay? God knows what you are saying. So
well, how do you use the thank you? Give me a situation that you can do you can use this thank you and you will clean it and you will erase.
okay, so if I repeat mental, let's say that I get fired, yes, and the my intellect will engage right away, will blame, will think it's unfair, it will say we are a victim. I'm gonna get on the phone and tell all my friends and my relatives of how injustice, what happened to me, what it was done to me. But you see, if instead I observe, I become an observer. Okay, the fact is I've been fired. Okay, if in that moment I realize it's not what is happening right now, it's just a memory playing. God knows better. This is happening for a reason. And I just mentally say thank you, thank you, thank you. Even if I don't feel it, I don't need to feel
Even
it.
if you don't mean it, just the
If you,
words themselves.
even if, no, because actually what I'm doing is I'm pressing that delete key instead of talking to the monitor. The person that is firing me is the monitor. It's showing me something that is playing inside of me. And I have two choices. I press the delete key or I talk to the monitor. So the thank you is a way of choosing to let go and let God. So pressing that delete key. God cannot erase unless I press the key first. Yeah, the computer will not erase if I talk to it. I will have to press the key. Yes. So it's the same thing with God. So I have to allow God to make the correction, to erase. And we do it just by repeating thank you instead of talking about it, instead of reacting. Yes, I'm taking responsibility. What is it in me that I get fired? Yeah. But I'm going to tell you the same with the sickness. Yeah, you are sick. What we resist persists. Yeah, thinking about it, talking about it, suffering, everything is resisting. The pain is inevitable, but the suffering is optional. So something happened, it hurts, but I can let go and let God to make the correction. So always changes and things happen for the better. yet always something better is coming. But we are so engaged with what I have in front, I'm not in the flow. So I want to tell you, we have the thank you. We can say I love you, even if I don't feel it. I say I love you, I love you, I love you. But I need to know that what I'm doing is I'm taking 100% responsibility, and I'm saying I'm sorry. Please forgive me for whatever is in me. Okay, God, I don't know what is in me, but I give it to you like a little child. No guilty. Okay, no guilty. Just responsible. I'm sorry. I don't know. Okay, I give it to you. Okay. Now, two things. First of all, when I talk about God, I talk about a part inside myself. It's a part of me that is closer than my own breath, that is only waiting to see if I'm gonna let go or not, or I'm gonna keep listening to this part of me. Okay, so I'm still all the work is inside. I'm not appealing to a God outside of me. I'm appealing to the God inside of me that has all the answers and all the solutions. I want to tell you, I'm going to tell you that when I started with Ho'oponopono, I used to use a lot of like how I reprogram myself, how I started, because the trusting is very important. Yeah. The intellect will say, what? We are going to say, thank you. Let's do something,
Yeah.
Be responsible, think, worry. We think that thinking and worrying is being responsible. Okay. It's the worst thing we can do when we have a problem. We need to relax. We need to let go and allow
To breathe. We forget to breathe where we are
yeah,
stressed.
yeah. So we stop the flow. We are not in the flow. We are alone. Yes, and definitely God cannot help. So I have to relax when I have a problem. I have to let go, and I have to allow God. Yeah, I have to give permission to be guided. Okay. So I want to give you two examples. Okay. First of all, I used to use a lot of I let go and trust when things got really, really tough, when they were really scary. Okay. When I didn't know what to do, I would repeat, I let go and trust. I let go and trust. It felt uncomfortable. It's outside of your comfort zone, letting go and trusting. Yes.
Yeah, probably it happened also when you were, when you decided to let go of being an accountant.
Sure.
And go into the unknown. So it's very scary.
I let go of a lot of logical things. Yeah, I let go of a lot of things. I took a lot of illogical decisions because I trusted. I learned to trust. Maybe because I was more than 10 years with a person that could see and hear, and that convinced me that I didn't know anything, that nothing has to do with anything we think, because they are all memories and nobody knows. Yeah. So that things really are for our own best, moment by moment, even if we don't think, they are. So there is always a blessing. So I learned to let go and trust, especially when things got really scary. So in 2009, my situation changed, and especially financially. And I had already a lot of employees. So I thought, what am I gonna do? I have to fire. I have to fire them. Yeah. And my intellect, very Jewish, very smart Argentinian intellect, told me, oh, you will have to go back to do taxes. Yeah. You will have to become an accountant again. It was the logical thing. Yes. Okay. So I took a decision, Orly, and I said, God knows why I'm here, knows how much I need and when I need it. And my tool became, I'm not going to worry. So the fear was still there, the anxiety, and everything. I mean, it's not like you wait till you don't have any fear or you don't have any worries or not. No, it's there, but you have to decide who you are going to give the control or the power. So when I noticed the anxiety was, boiling, yeah, I would look up and say, I'm not going to worry, because I wanted the universe and God to know that I was completely letting go. I didn't know what to do. Okay? Orly, not only I didn't fire anybody, I was able to hire more people. And the money was always there when I needed it. If I would, but it came from places I couldn't have planned. For example, I would get invited to some place, it will be a contract, it will be an advance. I am a self-published author, but I sold the rights of my books in over 15 languages, unheard of. Because all my business run, because I let go and trust, it's all about emails. I receive all the invitations via emails. Yeah, I traveled almost the world via email. I sold the rights to my books by email. Some of my publishers I didn't meet yet. Okay, so who is doing that? You understand that there is a more intelligent mind than ours that can handle all our problems, our life and everything, and it's only waiting for us to give permission. So what I want you to know is we can come up with our own tools and what it works. I use a lot of I let go and trust. I'm not gonna worry. Ways of letting go. What it will help you to let go of the worry, the anxiety, the fear, the thinking. What is gonna allow you to be present? And I also want to share one tool that is very, very funny, but I have so many stories to tell you about this tool, but I'm going to pick one with a Palestinian guy in Chile. Okay? So I was giving a training in Chile, and in the first break, this Palestinian guy comes and says to me, I don't agree with anything you told us. And when I saw your Jewish last name, I thought, what is she going to teach me? I really didn't want to come. Well, only because I didn't pay attention to this and I decided to let go, yeah, I was able to be present because all the things that this told me in a second, yeah, they are never gonna change, they are always the same, I'm gonna refund the money, he can go, all those things came to me in a second, yeah, but then I decided to let go. And because I let go, I was able to listen to him because he told me everything he believed. And when he finished, I was not thinking what I was going to tell him. So what it came up from me was from inspiration, not thinking, no memory replayed. So I said to him, would you be willing to be open and flexible? Because I agree with everything you told me. So I'm thinking we are talking about the same thing, calling it different names. He decided to stay, and he came back the following day, and he was so happy. And he said, this really works. And he told us that he told us a story. He owned a gas station in Chile. And that night of the training, he received a call at midnight from the police that said, you have to come at once because your 2 employees are here drunk. So he said he started getting dressed and he was really upset. I said, how come they can do this? This is not right. But suddenly he remembered fly paper. We have even a tool that is called fly paper. It's very funny. We also use it mentally to stop the stories, to be present, to let go, to give permission to God. Yeah. So he said he was driving to the gas station and he would fly paper, fly paper, fly paper, because he thought I have to fire them. But because of the social laws in Chile, if I fire them, I have to pay them to fire them. So it was so much money. He already made the calculation in his mind. He says, I have to sell the gas station to fire them. So he said, fly paper, fly paper, fly paper. And he says, when I got to the gas station, they quit. And they said, I'm sorry. They said, they apologized to him and they left. They took responsibility that it was really them, making a mess, and they left. So he didn't have to fire. He didn't have to pay them.
Wow.
So he came back and he was like, and at the end of the training, he gave me a big hug and he said, "This is peace in the Middle East."
Wow. So you just so you say the tool is to say fly paper?
Fly paper, fly paper, fly paper. You do it mentally, yes, because otherwise you will end up in a mental hospital. So we do all these mental, see, we create with our thoughts. Everything is thought, yeah? So if I think fly paper, I'm allowing another part of me to get to work, yeah? To put me at the right place at the right time with the right people. But if I'm not stopping that part, I call it the crazy of the house, yes?
Yes.
I will keep replaying. Yeah, I will keep going to the past, going to the future, never being present, never being, an observer, being conscious, yeah, and taking different decisions so that I can really make a change in my life.
So we learn thank you, thank you, thank you, let go and let God, and fly paper for
Yeah,
cleaning and trust.
and trust. So what you are using, any of those tools, yes, what you are saying to God is, I'm sorry, please forgive me for whatever is in me. You are taking 100% responsibility, but you don't have to say all that. You can just say, thank you, thank you, thank you, or I let go and trust, let go, I let go and let God. I know it feels uncomfortable. It's the opposite of what we've been doing.
Yes.
But you want to,
It's
you have to realize it.
It's
Yeah,
upside
you
down.
have to realize, you have to look at results. Are you a happy person? Keep doing what you are doing. Don't change anything. But if you are not happy and you are not at peace and you don't feel secure, or safe, let go, let God.
So I want to, we have like 15 minutes more, and I know you're coming to Israel in the end of this month,
Yes.
and you are having two seminars here in Tel Aviv in Bet Zioni America.
Yes.
One of them is the seminar of the Ho'oponopono, the basics, and the other one is the seminar that zero limits,
Frequency.
zero frequency.
Frequency. Yes.
So
Okay, so
it's in
on March,
just a minute. It's in the 2nd of April, and it's
the
a
zero
one-day
frequency,
seminar. One-day seminar.
that's the zero frequency. The Ho'oponopono is March 29th.
So
On March 20, yeah. So March 29th is the Ho'oponopono. The way I learned it over 10 years, from my teacher, Dr. Ihaliaka Lajulen, the things that I have permission, Orly, I ask permission to share in my trainings what I practice. I don't practice things, behind the scenes that I don't tell people. I know if they practice the part that I give in them, they are gonna see results. The other thing is I am a very practical, down to earth, day to day, present. I have a normal life. I am a business person and everything. So I know what it took me, yes, to do this and what it worked for me. So I travel around the world. I share this with people. I share it only in my seminars where I have permission to teach. And I really teach the part that it really helps me, that I saw results, and many, many thousands and thousands of people around the world are taking my trainings, and they see the results. I like the practical Ho'oponopono, the one that you really can really use in your daily life, at work, with your family, with things. And again, you're gonna see if you see results. If you like it, you keep doing it. Yeah. So that is Ho'oponopono, how I learned it from Dr. Hulen. And then on April 2nd, the zero frequency is even more practical. It's more experiential. I share with people what helped me to practice more of the Ho'oponopono. In this zero frequency, we also work a lot of forgiveness and letting go of the past, because that's what keeps us, you keep with a huge weight, you know, on your shoulders. You don't know why you cannot kind of advance, why you cannot move, why you keep attracting the same things in your life. And yes, so the intellect has to realize it's more for the intellect, you know, zero frequency. It's more to show the intellect that it is responsible, so we convince it to let go. Because, you know, the cleaning starts with the intellect. The intellect needs to choose to let go first, yeah, to give permission. So zero frequency, and that is the easiest way to abundance, peace, and happiness. It's about how do we become happy people and peaceful, that can get contagious. Yeah, that you can attract more, you know, happy and peaceful people that you can create, because we are all creating our own reality. Yeah.
Yeah,
One of the things that
whether we are aware of it or not, we are creating. So it's better to
exactly, we are
wake up
creating.
and to create what we want and not what we
Yeah,
don't want.
if you want to be at the right place with the right people, you know, in the perfect place, you have to allow, yeah, to let go and let God. So again, the zero frequency is more experiential, is more working with each other, working with groups, again, to make ourselves more aware, more conscious, and to be able to use it practically, like you said, you know, that how do we use something so esoteric, so there, you know, in my practical, in my daily life. Yes. How do I start choosing? So before I didn't answer one question. You said, why did I call it the easiest way? Yes.
Yes. Just a minute.
It,
Before you answer the question, I just want to say, since we talked about the seminars,
yes.
that the prices are still the low prices for
Okay.
another week. I asked Yael to save it for after the show for the Practical Inspiration community. And
Wonderful.
whoever is watching us tonight is welcome to use this opportunity. And they can buy tickets. They have a link in the page directly where they can buy the tickets, the low price tickets. And all the Practical Inspiration community will get a gift from us. So show us
Yes.
the gift.
Yes.
So,
I'll show you.
so tell me,
Well,
what is this bracelet and how do we use it?
yes. Well, I have to tell you that when I was in Israel, I received myself by inspiration a very important tool for peace, and that's the fleur de lis. And it came in a cappuccino in Tel Aviv, okay?
Yeah,
And
in the espresso bar, it's their sign.
yes, and you know, it's that time I was still in contact with Dr. Ihaliakala, so I emailed him and I told him what had happened, you know, and that I received this tool. So he confirmed for me, he gave me a beautiful meditation about, you know, how this is really for peace and our, you know, let go of slavery of thoughts and suffering and bloodshed and things, and became a world peace campaign. Yeah. So I have the bracelets, I have the pins and other things that we can use to help ourselves to clean 24 hours a day. You know, the Ho'oponopono training is really a reprogramming of the subconscious mind. That's why we come back, because I have to keep teaching my subconscious mind to do this in automatic, like it does the breathing. In Ho'oponopono, the subconscious mind is our inner child. So we work with the inner child during the Ho'oponopono training. Very important, yeah, in order to be in automatic. So these tools also help us to do the cleaning 24 hours a day. And I have great testimonies from people, you know, people that I don't know, won elections, people that won races, even teenagers that can see that they go even to a surgery and they don't allow the doctor to remove it. He said, no, don't remove that, you know, because they said Mabel's bracelets do something. So we are, yeah, for your people. It's a special gift for your people
So would you
that they
just
will
put
see
it
when
on,
they sign up.
just put it on the wrist and we walk with it like this?
Exactly. Like I said, I have other products, but just the bracelet, you can you wear it And there are many times we are not gonna say thank you. We are not gonna use the fly paper. We are not gonna let go. So at least we have tools that help us to do it 24/7.
So great. So everybody who wants to join your seminars will get the discount and will get the bracelet. So thank you very much for that. And we have a few more minutes. And I wanted to talk to you, Mabel. You know, this month is the International Women's Day, in the 8th of March. And since I work with women a lot, and
I love it.
I believe in women leadership, and I believe that women will lead the change in the world by becoming who they are and by awakening all their surroundings. Because, you know, I believe that when I help one woman to change, she will change a whole lot of area. I say that like we drop, you know, something in the water and it becomes like waves and waves. It ripples.
Yes, it ripples.
So I would like to ask you what you think, since you are a woman and you work all over the world and you see the change in consciousness happening. What do you think about the role of women to lead a change in the world?
Well, I'm gonna tell you something that came up in a training. Most of my audience is women, yeah. So most of the people that come to my seminar. So in Budapest, I got a question from somebody, and she sounded a little bit upset. And she said, why is that we women have to do this? You know, and she showed me, like, you know, the room was full of women, yeah, and few men.
Yes.
So, you know, I come from inspiration in my trainings, definitely, yeah. I connect to this channel, this beautiful channel. So this is what came up, okay? And I said, who are the ones that have problems with letting go? Who are the ones that never wants to let go, that always remembers everything, the ones that engage and cannot let go, that remembers what happened 10 years ago, what you told me, what you did, what you were wearing, you know. And I said, and who are the ones that are mostly with the young people that are going to bring peace to the earth? Yeah, that come with a different mindset. And that, you know, we are the example for our kids. Yeah, we spend most of the time with our kids.
Yes.
We have to change. We have to become happy women. It's very important. It's not about educating them, sending them to university, getting through university. It's about creating happy kids, happy young people, allowing them to be themselves. So for that, we have to become happy women. We have to be ourselves. We have to be at peace. Yes. So definitely, we women have a very important role, because peace is going to come from young people. Yes, it's not going to come from all intellects. Yes, our kids come with a different mindset, different chips. Please do not program them. Don't put the programs. Don't put programs that you already know they don't work. Yeah. So I mean, they learn from our example, not from our talking. So they are not listening. They observe us. It's very important as women to become happy women and start admiring, respecting men. You know, it's not about competition. Yes, it's not like we are better, but that we all have a role. We all have something important to do. So the respect is very important too. But the respect also to us, it will come when we respect ourselves, when we love ourselves. Yes, when we accept ourselves the way we are. So a lot of programs,
I believe is the basis of change, to accept
you know, Orly, I am watching the Ten Commandments series here in US, and I'm learning so much about trust. Yeah, Moses was a very good example. Yeah, and how our ancestors trusted. You know, it didn't make any sense. It was scary. It was, but you know, that's what we need. We need to go back to trust. Okay, And there was a rabbi in Israel that also told me once, the day that all Israelis say thank you, that's when the Messiah will come. Okay.
Wow.
So we need to be more grateful. We need to be more appreciative, but especially starting with us. We need to start loving ourselves. If we don't love ourselves, we are not going to love anybody, or nobody is going to love us.
Yes.
Yeah. And we all have a very important role and a very important thing that we need to do. Before we go, I want to be sure that I invite your people to there is an Israeli website too, but I don't know but if you go to the easiestway.com, in events, you are going to have the calendar with more information about my trainings in Israel and around the world. And if you go to free resources, there is a free Ho'oponopono basic video course, because some people will need a little bit more, yes, in order to.
So they can go into the Easiest Way website and get the free video series, like to the first knowledge about Oponopono.
The basics, and then if you sign up for the free newsletter, you also get some parts of my books and audio, so you can have a better not understanding, but a better feeling. Is this for me or not? So you don't let this opportunity go by.
So Mabel Katz, thank you very, very much for being here and being my host. And we'll see you soon in Israel. And
thank you so much.
Congratulations for your son's wedding. I heard that you're coming for your son's wedding also.
I am coming for the seminars, and also my family will be there because of my son's wedding that decided to do it in Israel. So I think it's double blessing.
Double blessing. So thank you very much. תודה רבה לכולכם. תודה רבה לכולכם. בשבוע הבא, בשבועיים הבאים, עוד רעיונות מעוררי השראה עם אנשים, עם מורים, עם מנהיגים מכל רחבי העולם. ביחד נעשה שינוי תודעתי ונביא שלום. אז תודה רבה לכולם ולהתראות בשידור הבא. Good night. Thank you very much. Bye bye.
Bye. Shalom.